Welcome to today's Weekly Insight. Today, we're talking about why gratitude matters at work. Gratitude really makes it onto values posters, yet it's one of those quiet forces that can elevate well-being, strengthen relationships, and help your team progress. So in a working world that's complex, messy, little ambiguous, gratitude isn't soft, it's strategic, because the way that we manage stress, manage our energy levels, manage the recovery that we need so that we can progress with purpose and relate to each other well is so critical. And gratitude helps on multiple levels, at the organizational, the team, and at that personal level. It helps at all three levels across the organization. So what is gratitude? At its core, gratitude is an emotion. It's also, though, characterized as a virtue and a character trait. But at its simplest, it's that feeling that arises when you notice what's good and appreciate the source of that goodness. Researchers, Professor Robert Emmons and Professor Michael McCulloch, describe it as a two-step process. Firstly, you need to recognize that positive outcome, recognize that something good has happened. And then secondly, you're acknowledging that that positive outcome has come from an external source and you've made that attribution. I also see it as a broader life orientation. You can think of it almost like that mental frame that is tuning, focusing your attention on what's working, who's helped, and what's possible. So how does gratitude actually work? So being an emotion, it can influence what we notice and therefore how we decide. When we're grateful, our attention span, it actually widens. We're more likely to see resources, spot progress, and give the people around us the benefit of the doubt. Now, those shifts that you're making, they're not just nice to have, they actually elevate and enhance both your innovation and your productivity. Studies in positive psychology show that gratitude is not only linked to higher happiness, it's connected to stronger relationships, greater resilience in the face of adversity and stress, and it can lower your risk of depression. So, in summary, gratitude improves your inner climate, and that helps you progress and get good work done. So that's at a personal level. What does it mean for teams? Now, I've talked about this before, how our emotions are contagious. And it's the same with gratitude, because that feeling of gratitude connects to more pro-social behavior. People are more inclined to help, share information, and build on each other's ideas. Teams that notice and name what is going well and are then grateful for it tend to generate more creative ideas. They move faster because those levels of trust are also higher. Defensiveness is lower. Now, when you're being grateful and noticing what is good around you, that doesn't mean you deny what's difficult. But what it does do is give you and your team a steadier base from which to face those challenges, those difficulties. So where do you start? The good news, things like gratitude and optimism, all of which build your resilience, can be learned. Much of the work can be drawn from psychologist Martin Seligman's work, and his work clearly shows some simple but powerful ways that you can build that daily practice of gratitude. One way, at the end of each day, simply write down 3 things that went well and why. That why matters because what it's doing is reinforcing the cause and effect. And over time, it's rewiring your brain towards resilience and hope. Now, as a leader, you can also bring this into your everyday operations, everyday routines. Firstly, when you're doing your weekly meetings, open it with a state of progress. Do a round robin where every person shares one thing that moved forward that week and why. Keep it specific, also keep it short. You can also close the week with that weekly wins, weekly thank you. What is it that you're noticing? What are you grateful for? Name that small win. Name the person who helped you. Say why it mattered. Next, make that help visible. Build rituals that encourage the people around you to do the same. Because when you call out the help, when you thank people for the help, those small acts compound over time. Next, invest in relationships. Schedule a few minutes a day to connect with a team member or a stakeholder. Show them that you're grateful for what they bring to that dynamic. Ask them how they're going. Listen. And then tell them something that you appreciate about them and about their contribution. Now, none of this is asking people to ignore stress or sadness or frustration. All of those range of emotions are important. But what it does do is it gives the people around you some simple tools that you can use to progress, to elevate your resilience and to provide support. And that balance is really important because it reduces the likelihood of unhelpful rumination. It frees up attention. It improves judgment under pressure. So, just one last thing for you to take away this week. Gratitude. It's not one-off. It's something that ideally is built as a daily discipline, because when it's a daily discipline, it shapes culture from the inside out. As the Roman Emperor Cicero put it, gratitude is not only the greatest of all virtues, but the parent of all the others. So this week, what's one thing that you can do to elevate how you bring gratitude into your daily working day? Take care. I'll see you next week.